Hey y'all, it is that time again, and yes, we are back with our garden program. We have our new member, Mr. Gage, one of our founding members, Ms. Chambliss, founding member, Mr. Dillard, and of course, you all know me, Ms. Green, and on the camera, we have new member as well, Ms. Riley. Today, we are going to be starting our onions, which will need to be seeded indoors before we take them outdoors at a later time. The onion is a vegetable that is the most widely cultivated species of the genus Allium. Mr. Gage, would you like to talk a little more about onions?
Sure. Allium is what we're going with. Shallots technically are a botanical type of onion, but they were not recognized as an onion and were considered a separate species in 2011. Other alliums that are cousins to onions are going to be things like garlic, scallions, leeks, and chives. Even though the bulb or common onion was officially described in 1753 by Carl Linnaeus in his Species Plantarum, which was the first book to go through and identify different species and botanical relations. Human beings have grown and selectively bred onions in cultivation for at least 7,000 years. The geographic origin is unknown, but we assume domestication and cultivation likely took place in West or Central Asia. Recipes from 2000 BC, Mesopotamia, involve onions. Egyptians were also believed to revere the onion, viewing the shape and its layers as symbols for eternal life. So let's plant some.
Join us, and we are here every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturdays this spring going into the summer.
Okay, Mr. Gage, so can you tell us a little bit about what's on the table?
Absolutely. Onions like a very loose, sandy soil that drain well. Onions are very prone to root rot. So if the soil is too wet or retains too much water, that will increase the chances that the onions won't grow. So we are going to make our own soil. We're using 1 part cocoa coir, 1 part sphagnum moss, 1 part perlite, and then just a little bit of sand. This is going to give us a loose, sandy soil for starting our onions.
This is extremely exciting. I can't wait.
Okay, Mr. Gage, show us what to do.
All righty. So, cocoa coir. Go ahead and dump the cocoa coir. We've been soaking our cocoa coir brick in water for a little while now. Cocoa coir is everything in between the shell and the outer coating of a coconut. Brown coir comes from mature, ripe coconuts and is a lot stronger but less flexible than the younger, whiter cocoa coir. This will be used to improve soil aeration, retain water, but also provide a neutral pH for our plants. So we've just got to get this all broken up in here. And then we are going to add, go ahead, I'll let you break that up. You got your gloves on.
Mr. Gage, cocoa coir sounds new to me. Where would our patrons get cocoa coir from?
Oh, absolutely. You can buy bricks of cocoa coir. They're sold in compacted bricks at any garden store. You can also order them online from any gardening center and Amazon and other retailers. Cocoa coir is also used for certain plants, indoor house plants, things that need a lot of drainage, like some of your orchids or similar plants that need a lot of water and a lot of drainage. So it's a very common garden supply and one that a lot of people use a lot.
That's good to know.
The other ingredient we're going to throw in there is our sphagnum moss. Sphagnum moss comes dried in sheets like this, and it is the dead, dried organic material sourced from bogs for garden use. This is different than your peat moss, which I'm sure you're familiar with. Because of terms of harvesting and processing, this is actually the green parts of the moss that have been dehydrated, as opposed to peat moss, which is been allowed to decompose. Common uses for sphagnum moss is any seed starting where plants where a light, airy texture with good moisture retention is key. So we're going to do about 1 part cocoa coir, and then we're just going to toss our 1 part sphagnum moss right on top. And again, we've been soaking these, but any little extra moisture is just going to go into our pots and into the soil. So if there's a little water retention, that is totally okay. Let me know when you get that all mixed in there, Miss Shamlis.
Yes.
Looking good, looking good.
And I see Miracle Grow.
This is Miracle Grow's Perlite. Perlite is a lightweight, sterile, porous, volcanic glass heated to pop like a popcorn. You want to get real close. It's nice white. That's the little white beads that you sometimes see in potting mix. That's perlite. Primarily, this is going to enhance drainage and aeration while preventing the soil from getting too compact. So it adds a little mineral element, a neutral mineral element that we're just going to mix in here. So we've done about 1 part cocoa coir, 1 part sphagnum moss. We're going to do about a 1/4 part of the perlite right on top, and then we're just going to mix it right. Oh, that looks awesome. We'll just give it a quick dusting. Watch, Ruthie.
Now, Mr. Gage, we pride ourselves in having a natural garden that do not have anything extra added into it. How can we ensure that the ingredients that we're using this time, what are we looking for when we get a bag of Miracle Grow to say this is good for your plants?
So Miracle Grow is a chemical company, so you want to see something that just says perlite. All right, now this is going to be enriched with Miracle Grow's plant food. If you can just get a plain perlite, that's fine. But this is going to help, like it says, help prevent soil compaction. This is an ingredient that would be added to Miracle Grow's potting mix and whatnot. We are using all organic materials. Perlite's organic. The cocoa coir, again, is the shells or the husks of the coconut. Sphagnum moss is organic. Everything here is organic. Just read the labels, make sure that it isn't, there aren't any additives. But most of the time when you're looking at additives like a Miracle Grow, it's your NKP blend, which is good for all plants. It's not an inorganic chemical, but that's what you're looking for. You want to look for anything that says organic, all natural, no chemicals, no GMOs, all of those things.
Thank you, Mr. Gage.
Yep. All right, go ahead and mix that up in there.
All right.
Now that the dust has settled.
Pull my sleeve up, please.
Yes, ma'am. There you go, and I got your other one. There we go. Oh, that's looking perfect.
Looking good. Looks like some brownies with coconut. No.
Looks like coconut brownie. Yeah, don't eat this, please. Don't throw this in the oven.
All right, and I see some potting and garden sand.
Yep. Garden sand is just, again, it's another mineral. This is just sand. This is what you would get on any beach. They've just processed it a little finer for gardening. Again, yeah, you can see. This is just what you would have in your sandbox. Normal garden sand. Adds aeration, it helps. Go ahead and dump that in that bucket. And we're just going to add, so we're going to use about 1/4 part garden sand. I would urge you to get anything that says potting and or garden sand. That just means that it has been processed specifically for gardens. They just ground it finer, or they sieved it finer, whatever it is to process it. But that's all we're doing with the sand. It's adding aeration. It's going to allow the water to flow through. The sphagnum moss and the cocoa coir are going to retain the water that the onions need, but the perlite and the sand are going to allow the water to drain through so that our onions don't get waterlogged and root locked.
This is very informative, Mr. Gage. Thank you. And again, we invite you every Monday, Thursday, and Saturday this spring, or Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays this spring from
10 to noon. We're trying
10 a.m. to noon. And if anything changes, we'll let you know when you come. To sow our onions, we're doing what's called multi-sowing. So for this small pot, we're going to put about 20 seeds in one pot. We do this because of the special nature of onions. When onions grow, Each individual seed turns into a small bulb which grows separately and distinctly from the other plants. When we transplant these to their pots or the garden bed in a few months after the first frost, we'll give them a little more space to develop a large fist-sized bulb for eating. But for starting onion seeds, go ahead and multi-sow to save space. As you see here, with Mr. Dillard and Ms. Chambliss are doing. So we'll fill our container loosely with our soil. We want it filled, but again, we want loose soil. So don't pack it too tightly in there. Then the trick is to really water your soil. Some gardeners will actually submerge their whole pot or seed tray at this point, but we'll just give it a good soak. Then we'll scatter about 20 seeds per container and press them down slightly, as you see we're doing here. After that, we'll sprinkle a layer of our homemade soil on top to cover the seeds, and then we'll water again. We'll place our plants in a sunny window that gets solid north light and water them regularly. In about a month, we're going to come back, check on our onions, and maybe even give them a trim. I want to show you how much water we're using. So this is 1 whole gallon of water, and 1 whole gallon is pretty much gonna be used for every single container here. Because you could not make it with us today, we have seeds that we'll have at our front reference desk that you can pick up so you can start doing this process at home. We also have a little bit more soil that we may be able to share with you, but I can't make any promises. So, like I said, come out, join us, grab your seeds from the front desk so you can start yours at home and you can work with us on this process. So please like this video and subscribe to our channel so you can join us for that. As a public library, every watch, every like, every share, and every comment helps us promote our programs and serve our community. And again, every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday this spring and going into the summer, we will be here. So if you'd like to join in person, that will also help us serve our community. So come join us and join the community garden for the East Cleveland Public Library.